What's up, YouTube? Game time tomorrow. Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs. Let's get it in. Listen, Kansas City Chiefs are a team with an overrated coach, all right, who doesn't believe in wide receivers, who has this particular philosophy of building a team a specific way. If he was what everybody says he is, the greatest coach ever or the best coach in the league, Andy Reid would have about 6 rings by now, because when he's in Philadelphia, he made it to 5 NFC Championship games. He won 1 of those, and he made it to the Super Bowl, which he also lost. Now, if you compare that to the majority of the loser franchises, the loser coaches out here, you would say, well, that's excellent, right? Okay. But to me, you know, when you talk about those types of guys, best, you have to compare them to the best. You know, his record against Bill Belichick, to me, not the best. Even when he got the current team that he has now with Mahomes, it took a while to get over the hump to beat the old Chiefs, the old Patriots teams. I mean, it is what it is, right? So, to me, Andy Reid, if he was all that, Andy Reid would have about 6, 7 rings. He should have won 3 in Philadelphia. Now you got the 5 NFC Championship games. You need to be winning 3, because you need to at least be winning 2/3 of what you went to. If your words, you can't have a losing record. There's a losing record in championship games by far. When he gets to Kansas City, when he has Alex Smith, you know, he put together nice little seasons. Get to the playoffs most of the time. Could never get over the hump. Can never get over the hump. So the only thing we could say about that was, right, he can only take you but so far. Then you need the talent to do the rest. Because with Alex Smith, think about it. Alex Smith had Travis Kelce. He had Tyreek Hill. He had a nice line. He had decent defenses. Decent. Not great. Decent. And kept falling short. So finally, you got through with Patrick Mahomes. And I believe, my personal opinion, Patrick Mahomes and that offense struggled more than they should have in most of those Super Bowls. Last year's Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles was the best Patrick Mahomes ever looked in a Super Bowl. Now, is that a reflection on Mahomes? I don't know. I think it's more of a reflection on Andy Reid, honestly, and what he builds and what he puts around Patrick Mahomes. The current Kansas City Chiefs right now this season are really Andy Reid's true vision, right? This team actually resembles those Eagles teams. In particular, the 2002 Eagles and the 2003 Eagles. I would say the Chiefs right now resemble those teams, with the exception the Chiefs have the better quarterback. You know, Eagles had Donovan McNabb, and they had Chad Lewis at tight end, and the Chiefs have the better tight end. But as far as the receivers that the Chiefs have, to me, they just like James Thrash, Todd Pinkston, you know, Freddie Mitchell, all those guys that the Eagles had back 2002, 2003. The Eagles had one playmaker, though, Brian Westbrook, at running back, who I think Andy Reid thinks he kind of has in Pacheco. Pacheco's not a Brian Westbrook. But, you know, he's a decent guy, catch receiver out the backfield, couldn't run a little fast type of guy, right? So, Andy Reid basically got his 2002, 2003 Eagles team with just the quarterback of his dreams, you know, who can bail him out when he comes through and calls dumb plays, or you don't get him in on time, he's not managing the clock right. When you have the quarterback who you just let do that for you, makes you look a lot better. But Andy Reid, honestly, what I see, same old Andy Reid, for real. I mean, even the way he built the team, when Patrick Mahomes first came, people say, you know, he had this super high-powered offense. True, he did. Andy Reid, in my opinion, got lucky with building that, right? If Tyreek Hill, for example, was a 5th-round pick. Tyreek Hill being a 5th-round pick, and you look at what he is now, that's just a failure on the half of the league. Most of these teams, most of these GMs clearly don't know what they're doing, don't know what they're looking at, don't know what they're targeting. All right, so you go back to 2016. Tyreek Hill's taken in the fifth round, who's mostly used as a special teams guy, a gadget guy. They're probably looking for his next Dante Hall. You know, well, Andy Reid never had, but in the Chiefs' history, the guy named Dante Hall, the joystick, is probably who they were looking for with Tyreek Hill. Lo and behold, he ends up being one of the best receivers in the league. Travis, had he known that that's what Tyreek Hill was going to be, they take him in the first round. So that's getting lucky to me. Travis Kelce. Many say he's the greatest tight end ever. He's not the greatest tight end of all time. He's not. The greatest tight end of all time is Shannon Sharp. Make no mistake about it. Shannon Sharp was part of 3 Super Bowl runs, and he was the best receiver on those teams when they made those runs. That means you're the greatest, okay? 3 rings, okay? Yeah, but Travis Kelce is one of the greatest. My point is, he was a 3rd round pick. If you look at it, us Philadelphia Eagles fans, we know that's where Andy Reid builds. He builds that. He's not going to spend a lot of high draft capital on wide receivers, right? You guys are finally starting to see that now. He's not going to get wide receivers in the first round. May not even get him in the second round. He's going to take his, he's going to try to grab guys off waivers, off other teams that he see on film doing a little something that another team may have spent capital on. All his capital is going to go to offensive line. All his capital is going to go to defensive line. Then he might go to the corners, right? He's not going to spend a lot on linebackers. So the good linebackers that you guys have, that came as a result of, just getting lucky. Get lucky in the draft, or I give him credit. Maybe I identified somebody in the draft that fell, that sort of thing, right? So these are the type of teams you're going to have. Patrick Mahomes, listen, shout out to him. He's so damn good that he's just making do with the nonsense Andy Reid gives him. This is the same thing Donovan McNabb had to do. Only difference is Donovan McNabb would have to, run for about 500-600 yards a year because he wasn't as good as Patrick Mahomes, at just throwing the ball. But those are the teams you have. Now, there's no reason the Eagles should be losing to the Chiefs. But, this is the thing. As imperfect as Andy Reid is as a coach, he's better than Nick Sirianni. He's better than Brian Johnson. And he's better than Sean Desai, who we have. Spags is better than Sean Desai. Because they just older, more experienced, have been in more games, been in more situations, have responded to more coverages, right? That's the thing. And you got Patrick Mahomes. That's what worries me going into the game. Is that my coaches just might not come through for us. But man for man, players for player, team for team, we shouldn't be losing to you guys, man. But a lot of teams shouldn't lose to the Chiefs. But they do. Patrick Mahomes, Kelce, that coaching staff, which I don't think is a perfect coaching staff, but it's better than what most are presenting. So that is what it is, man. We're going to see you cats tomorrow night. Now let me go watch some NFL Network, analyze these teams, see what's going on, see who trash, who not, and then clown them. Peace.